International. All right, here we go. JST 16OT. We are loading in. Prepare for battle. All right. How far off are we? We are... I want to see the scoreboard. How far are we off? All right, let's look at players. 16 OT. Ace. Trying to remember if I remember some of these players. Leo. Haru. I remember Haru. Vinny sounds familiar. Energetic. All right, here we go. The gates of hell have opened. We are now into our second match. Second match. Let's just go show off real quick. Save. Strike bot. 80s. Jumba. Jumba, Jumba, Jumba. All right, and we'll zoom out here in a minute to see the overall. I just want to see everybody real quick. Night King. Oh, the Night King. I remember Night King. Oh, Teddy is still here. Let's go. The Teddy. All right, let's zoom out. Let's see what the breakoffs are looking like right now. What skills have been used? So energetic from both sides getting used. I suspect we're gonna have pretty traditional breakoffs, but let's see. Obelisks have already been touched. We have our totems getting laid. Interesting position for the side of 16 OT. Both obelisks have been tapped. Want to see what this breakout looks like, fam. We're gonna stick here for a minute just to see what it looks like. Just remember, 16 OT is tied right now with 2377. They pretty much need a win to stay in contention to win the group, leading all the way to week 3, where they will battle against 2377, and only one can make it out of each group. So this is a big one because JST is no slouch. They are coming off a tough loss from 2377 and trying to play spoiler. Looks like a fairly even split from the side of each side. Looks a little bit heavier down below. Nothing too crazy down here. Let me see. A lot of Jones. Some Scipios. Interesting. We're going more for speed breakoffs. Less Scipio. Okay, there's maybe they're just all delayed behind. QSH. All right. We are already progressing. Look, all the information you need to know right here. Little CC gathering data right now. Run, Forrest, run! Just gathering all the data they need. Nevsky's, a lot of Cav. Look at the CC, brother. Mission Impossible. Cue the music. Dun, 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 dun. You heard 2377, and whoever's against them isn't gonna win. Yeah, they're pretty tough. Pretty tough, boy. All right, we already got our first fight. Interesting from the side of JST. We aren't pushing. Typically, you would see push right here, push over here. I feel like we're pulling. We might be pulling something here. We might be going for the swing. I think we're gonna see some. Oh, this is very awkward. So here's the key, right? Are they going to start pulling forward because they're not seeing anybody? I feel like we're gonna see a skill get popped here pretty quick. All right, we'll keep our eye on that. That was a little suspect. 16 OT pushing through. Our first fights around Desert Altar, opening up 20 seconds. So here's the key, right? I don't know if they've adjusted this yet, but it used to be, you see how this march is parked on the circle? We're gonna keep our eyes around it. It used to be if you are parked there, your march, there's a delay in getting into the structure. It usually will go out to go back in. And they got in, okay. So it didn't do that animation anymore, which is nice. The JST are inside of their structures right now. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I would normally dance, but I haven't stretched yet. The birthday dance. All right, here we go. Sky Altar, 16 OT. JST are applying a ton of pressure. It's interesting to see the play. There you go. There's the split. This is very common for what they usually do. But the Desert Altar play threw me for a loop. I don't know what's going on. That looked like a failed attempt right there. I thought they were going to try to run some sneaky tactics or do something on it. I don't know if there's a cooldown right off the rip though, so they might not have been able to. But that stall was very awkward. Welcome everybody to the stream. Do me a huge favor if you haven't already. Smash that like button on the stream. Helps us out with that YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We'd greatly appreciate it and welcome you to the Burrito Gang. Thank you again for all the love and support y'all been showing the channels, right? As this is our brand new channel that we are firing up exclusively for Rise of Kingdoms. So if you are interested in that, make sure you sub to the channel and hit that bell icon. All right, looks like 16 OT holding it down. JST with the hard push out here. Looks like they did flip the neutrals, which honestly is kind of surprising. But we'll figure it out. Right, we got about 5 minutes before the first arc spawns between the two teams. I'm looking to see where we're going to be going. The top side looks like it's having more intense fighting, but 16 OT is pressuring on this bot side on this JST Sky Altar. So let's check it out. The swarm is coming in. Here it comes. Coming in hot. Are JST gonna be able to get in? Let's see. Let's see. All right, here come. This is gonna be the real test right here. Now they got fresh marches coming in. Tick, 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 tick. 16 OT really pushing this because this timing is really good because it allows the opportunity for your marches to either take a structure or neutralize it or just die, and then you can the fastest march in Rise of Kingdoms is a dead march, so get back to your city to then send fresh troops towards the middle. JST are holding, they're holding, but there are a ton of 16 OT here. They're just all really low. This is gonna be a tight one. This is gonna be close. Three and a half minutes. Ooh, look at the sliver of health. Oh, dude, this is a reoccurring theme apparently today. The so close yet so far situation. And just like that, reinforcements are in. That should be cooked right there. Should get those first occupations. You're starting to see them right there as they're coming in. Little CC swarm never hurt anybody. Dude, this QSH is still, oh my God. Oh my God. There you go, just like that. JST are able to hold as we watch the mid rotation. This is gonna be one of the very few times. The first arc is always unique because you're getting people coming from 3 different directions, rotating towards middle. And we're about 2 minutes out. This is pretty standard for what you're gonna see. I'm just interested to see, there you go, as one Sky Altar flips over in favor of JST. That is not an uncommon thing, especially, dude, what is this play? See, this is that awkward march placement because of the field of vision, right? It's right in the middle between the structures. So if you're not looking for it, you're not gonna see it. And they just took it back, but look at the timing, right? They took it back and they're pushing forward. Now you're gonna see the timing coming in. But what we are here for is this. The mid fights, just peeking at each other. We're looking, this is where matches are won and lost. Should be absolute fire between these two teams. I'm excited for it. I don't know which skills we're looking at. I feel like they are both pretty aggressive teams. So I suspect both of them are going to use to the death for sure. But I would like to see a Heaven's Grace. I think if I see a Heaven's Grace, it's going to be on 16 OT more than I'm going to see it on JST. Here we go, posturing forward. Got about a minute left. About a minute left before Arc spawns. Desert Storm coming from 16 OT. Great placement. They should be pushing forward. Desert Storm coming on their side. I don't know why they would push it that deep. They should have honestly known that 16 OT was probably going to push. I would have, well, lowers them a little bit. Not very much though. Dude, the wait and see game is intense. Dude, this is so good. We got altars flicking. We got Shrine of War going. Let me see if that's what they're waiting on. They might be waiting on the shrine to go down. And it does. Oh, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Okay, back to middle. Got 10 seconds coming in. JST are the aggressors to the death. 16 OT. Popping it first. Arc has spawned. Who's gonna grab it first? Looks like 16 OT might have gotten the first pool. JST, pull it from the backside. Oh, run, Forrest, run. Run. Dude, 16 OT, look how thick. Oh no, look at the mid. Oh, daddy. Oh, daddy. Look at the sad faces on the side of JST. This is what I'm talking about, dude. Dude, let's go. Dude, oh my God. What skills did we pop for the side of JST? The mark. So they saved to the death. Okay, so JST did not use to the death. And just like that, 16 OT, especially not popping skills like that, it is going to be an interesting play to see. I don't know what JST, honestly, like that was, hey, we'll see it. Arc being run back, 16 OT. That one is worth 3,000 score. And so now we flip back to structure game. It's going to come down. What do y'all think is going to happen? 16 OT. Are they going to hold it? Are they going to cap it? What are we thinking? What are we thinking? That's a statement right there on the first one. The first arc. That is a statement and a half right there. We are here to play and win. 16 OT coming out strong. JST have always been really good at occupation, right? Look at the occupation score though, right? But the thing is, right, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen when you are constantly flipping structures, right? So now you'll start to see the swarms are gonna start coming in. They're gonna reset a ton of structures. 16 OT has plenty on the field. They just invested in the arc. You might get a couple of bad score for a couple of minutes until you reset. And then probably what will happen is I would hold the arc until you're able to at least reset the score points wise. And then you determine whether you want to capture it. If your strategy is to only have 2 arcs in the match, whatever your gameplay is, but you don't want to capture it too fast. You want to make sure you reset the structure game first, right? JST, oh my God, this garrison is looking good. Dude, that garrison hasn't moved at all. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so it looks like we are flipping some structures, 360 to 962. We're running here, but the altars are being flipped. Not gonna lie, Rise of Kingdoms looks fun to play. It's fun. It's just a lot of time and a lot of, you know, it's a ton of fun though. It has a great community. All right, so 16 OT, we're able to retake that altar. Looks like we're already starting to progress. There you go. Altars flip here, Shrine of Life. And then we are slowly starting to reset up here as we slowly push this desert altar on the opponent's side. The field pressure just is clearly in favor of JST right now. And so we're gonna keep our eyes on that. You really, if you are 16 OT, you really don't want to sit back too long, right? At some point, you're gonna have to pressure the field because you're gonna get JST doing this, where they're just gonna posture forward and then kind of keep you on your back foot the whole time. But keep in mind, right? This is like a 2 points. What? 2.6. 2.6K lead. And then you have that 3K in the pocket. So it's more like a 5.6K lead right now in favor of 16 OT.
que sea ni lo vamos a contar. Solo quiero ver.
16 OT doing great progression over here. Slowing the field down, which is nice. Right, those seemed like random fights, but what happened is it frees them up because then JST isn't freely doing this, which is an issue, right? They're at least gonna get those ticks in favor. They probably should solidify their altar first before they progress forward, because now JST has a nice clear line of sight. But they have effectively reset the majority of their structures. But JST are gonna keep progressing. They are a very aggressive alliance in terms of Arc of Osiris and Grand Prix, all that kind of stuff. So you gotta hold off the waves, right? The waves are always crucial. It's ebbs and flows. Just like that, JST take the altar again. And honestly, if you are going to lose mid, right, you can afford to lose mid if you can dominate occupation, right? This is the major difference right here, right? Once the arc comes in, that's gonna bump it up, but you can still win with a very dominant occupation game, right? Even if you lose mid, but it has to be dominant. All right, JST swarming again. Here comes neutral again. Neutral again. Look at the break off, so clean. So we are constantly having this and this, right? Those are the lanes that they keep using, is this and this. So honestly, if you're gonna put a sentry, I would put a sentry right here to hopefully see when they are doing that, right? You should hopefully be able to capture both instances, but that's what they've been doing nonstop. Bottom, they are kind of just yeeting and deleting. They're just doing the normal traditional, but we are getting the blocks, which is what I was talking about earlier, right? They are blocking the lanes for reinforcement, and they're doing a great job of doing that as it ticks down towards the capture. 16 OT will probably need another wave to clear this. We're gonna get to eat the cake in a sec. We'll be back later. Have fun while I'm AFK. Hey, QQ, I appreciate you, big dog. Enjoy your lemon cake, my friend. Enjoy it. And happy birthday again, bud. All right, energetic getting popped on the side again for 16 OT. So right now, even with that, look at this. Even with the score, look at the score. And that's with the capture, chat. That's with the capture. That's how dominant this has been. We are nilled up. We are nilled up. We are nilled up after the first capture. JST have a slight lead right now. I'm intrigued by how many provisioners are out right now. I'm intrigued by that. JST are doing a phenomenal job holding structures, and I'm telling you, when you're 3xing an occupation non-stop per minute, that you're gonna need the arcs. So this is the play right here, guys. This is the reason why I do not like when teams hold arcs. The only reason you would hold an arc is if you're keeping the structure game tight, right? Right now, the structure game is nowhere near close, right? It's drastically in favor of JST. So if you're 16 OT, you really have to lean into what you're doing the best at, which is arc, right? Which is capturing the arc. So we're gonna see if it comes to bite them. You're starting to see that lead drastically increase, even though they haven't captured an arc. That next arc could be worth absolutely nothing depending on this occupation game, right? That's the reason that this gets dangerous, right? It might take, I'll be honest with you, it may take 16 OT 3 arcs and provisions in order to beat JST because of how good this occupation game is. 16 OT do take their ultra back, right? And once again, look, it's out in the middle of Narnia, running around. The lines of sight are very good. They're testing them out. Here come Alter Swarms again. 35 seconds, clear out this reinforcing march. All right, clear that out, and then once they clear that out, it turns into all-out swarm. They honestly might just be waiting. They might be waiting just to clear this out, and then they have the back line coming forward, but we'll see. $16.02 doing a great job. They're posturing forward very well. JST structure game is just so good. It's just so good. All right, rotation mid. You started to see JST rotating early. They are rotating relatively early this time. 3.5, almost about 3.5 minutes early. Desert Altar about to tick forward. 16OT starting to see that, so now they're starting to rotate. But look at these blue marches. Look at these sneaky little beavers here. I think this is gonna be this might be enough to sneak that altar out. It might be close. Might be close. But look at the timing. Just look at the timings on these marches, though. Right? We're about 2.5 minutes. If I was them, I would have waited to about the 2-minute mark and then moved towards the structure. But as you see that, look at all the structures blinking now. The timing on all of these is so well planned. Shrine of War, altar just flipped. Shrine of Life is literally getting cooked. We can see all blue by the time this arc even spawns. By the time it even spawns. All right, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I want to see JST posture forward. They were always known for posturing forward. Starting to inch up together. Yeah, there you go. They're going for this. You can tell just by this. This is very traditional JST. I've never been a huge fan of fighting on the side. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? Got about 1:30 left. Starting to see 16OT start to inch up closer and closer and closer. The trick, here's the key, right? How big of a skill bar does 16OT have? Right? They did hit to the death, right? Desert Storm coming on the side of 16OT. Ooh, I would have waited on that. Could have gotten a lot more marches that are coming in. I'm gonna try the rope-a-dope real quick. All right, here we go, 40 seconds. 16OT have already used one of their skills. What is next? We're still waiting for JST. We're still waiting. I wonder what they're going to hit him with. They still have 3 skills, so you know they're going to use it. Probably 2, I would say. Desert Storm from JST. Here it comes. To the death. Okay. Heaven's Grace on size 16OT. That's what we wanted to see. See, I would have paired that. I think that's the hard one, is that 7 points right there. That's probably their max bar. I would have tried to pair it with a low 2. All right, we're starting to see 16OT get pushed out. Lots of 16OT coming out. Lot of blue, lot of blue. The arc. Who has it? I think, okay, the arc carrier died. I think it was 16OT that pulled it. But look at JST clearing it out in mid. You want to see somebody from JST grab it? I think I see 5 right here. 4. Yeah, they should grab it. Witcher grabbing and running. Run, boy, run. And just like that, JST with the mid fight. Guys, this is gonna get real interesting real quick. I'll be honest with you. If I was JST, you ready for it? I would sit on it. I would sit on it, lean into your provision, you have some provisions going on, but lean into that occupation game. Lean into it. JST playing spoiler right now. Oh. Woo. JST playing spoiler right now. You love to see it. All right, here comes JST for the occupation game. Charge! Right into the desert altar. Chad, you ready for this? Here is the exciting part. Okay. If, right, and we're playing a hypothetical game here. If JST wins this match, okay, they have EE for week 3, which being, I love EE, right? I respect to them. JST should win that, which would put them at 2 wins, right? 2377 should win this week, should put them at 2 wins. And 16OT would go in with 1 win next week, going into next week, where they would then play 2377. Okay. And if 16OT were able to sneak out a win there, we would then have a pool of 2220, and then it would come down to net points to see who would advance into the grand final, or like the Grand Prix bracket. Guys, this is gonna be insane. First step, we need JST to win this in order to even tee that up, right? They're doing a fantastic job. They are already up by 2.9. They have this second arc in their bag. We're 3.5, and they are very, very strong on occupation right now. But I am happy to see that 16OT does, for the first time, I think, in this match, have the advantage in the occupation. 16OT held on. They held on for that swarm. I like it. You're starting to see 16OT trying to get more aggressive on the map now that they are starting to catch on what's going down. All right, so random fights there. We are Gucci there. Let's come check over here. I think they see, so this is what they're starting to do, right? They're starting to block the lane here because they know that they've been running here. And so I like the idea of 16OT pulling back, right? Because now they're starting to see what JST is doing structure-wise. All right, I don't know what it is, but JST's garrison just looks so much stronger. Just looks so much stronger. 16OT's is getting flipped non-stop. But 16 is holding on for dear life. They're holding on. Is this gonna happen again? Oh man, somebody has to get in there, right? Send that reinforcement, brother. Why are you marching back? Just kill it off, brother. Kill it off. All right, somebody did get in. That might be enough to sustain this. Might be enough to sustain this. Yeah, there it is. That should be enough. Herman ain't taking that down by himself. Great solid hold for the side of 16OT. They can't afford to keep losing those desert altars. And just like that, like as expected, right? The structure game for 16OT and JST is coming into play. But I am happy to see that 16OT is starting to catch on to where they're marching from. Here comes the next big swarm coming out from the side of JST.
pichea ninguna, criminal como nada para cocina. Ella sabe que te la disco no la van a quitar. Los fines de semana son tan sueltos, hay que vacilar. Ready, con ropita cortita para hangar y crear. De mí se deja llevar. La ropa con tu actitud es que dominas. Chica con esa virtud, rompe bocinas. Ay, nadie como
All right, 16OT holding it. There you go. Now nice pressure on the map. See, okay, so this is an adjustment that I'm seeing from 16OT that I am liking. They are starting, their mindset has shifted. They are now, instead of offense, they are instantly, their first reaction is to attack defensively first, then progress aggressively through the map. So secure your structure first, then progress forward, right? That is the shift that has happened now. As you start to see, right, they defended their Desert Ultra because they know that they're going to push. Once the wave has been cleared, then they progress on the map. And now you're starting to see that, right? The change in the aggression on the map is drastically shifted from in between the first arc and the second, right? Now JST is going to have to play a little defensive, clear them out, then progress forward, right? That is a nice little shift that has been happening. If 16OT can pull this, this would be great. Here's the main difference from what was previously happening and what is happening right now. JST was actively scoring utilizing the opponent's structures. 16OT is doing a great job in occupation now, but they are not scoring on enemy structures. They are only maintaining their current structures, which is not going to help because right now they are nilled up. What JST honestly wants is this. They want it 590 to 500 for the rest of the match, right? They have an arc that they're sitting on. They can afford for this to happen, right? What they can't afford is what was previously happening against 16OT, where it was 720 to 290, right? For 5 minutes. You can't have that. That is just too much time, especially when you're trying to make up scores. They're currently down 1.6 with the 3.5K arc. That's putting them closer to like 5K differential right now. And so in order to make that up, you are going to need to start scoring with enemy structures, which is what's so big. And just like that, look at JST flipping. Oof. The Sky Ultra is nasty. It's just so good. Once again, defensive first, followed by aggression. All right, let me see. All right, let's look at the map real quick. So see, JST is content with sitting on this. There will still be a third arc, but it's not gonna have very much time. But the reality is most of these murder balls are dying in the first minute. So 8 minutes is kind of long, right? It's kind of long to hold. And see, JST's posturing on the specific side of the structure is very good. Right, that's the reason why they're able to do this kind of stuff and capture. This is what 16OT is not doing, right? They're not actively capturing and scoring points with the enemy structures. They might flip a structure, but they aren't scoring. Within the next 2 minutes, they are losing it. And that's the reason why it's so different. And their garrisons just look so much. The compositions must be completely different because, hey, like these marches are melting with the swarm, but when JST swarms, it's whew, chef's kisses. JST holds again, boys. Ugh. All right, we got mid fighting. They did flip the structure back, but see, this is what I'm talking about, right? The structure flip game is a real thing. All right, they found their little nook here. I like this from 16OT, pushing. That way they can't ball up. There you go. Now they cleared them out. Now they rinse towards the structure. And these are good points of reference for the future, right? If JST makes it out, right, you now know where their march is going, so you can plan for it accordingly. All right, let's see. All these marches are red. Oh man, these are all going down. Down, down, down. See, if you're JST, I would honestly just run away from this and let these guys swarm the garrison. They're so low, except that XY. Interesting that they're using XY. Chandra? Ew. Interesting. Chandra XY. And there you go. 16OT do flip it. I just don't know if they have enough to sustain that, right? Because look, even with 10 seconds, right? Look at JST. This is what I just mean by timing, right? The timing is just so good. They will get, 16OT is going to flip it, but, they'll get that initial tick. And then guess what? In another minute, they probably won't hold that structure. And so then you were kind of capitalizing on the timing and not giving away free points, right? That structure is spending more time in neutral than it is scoring. And that's the idea, the name of the game. If it's not scoring for you, you want it sitting neutral as long as possible. This structure has flipped so many times, I bet you it spent more time in neutral than it has scoring in this match thus far. We only have 16 minutes left. Got 2 minutes and 40 seconds left before they have to capture the arc, which will leave us around 14 minutes. Then you have that 8-minute countdown, right? Which will leave us, 14, 8, 6 minutes left for the final capture. And that's all she wrote. Then we will have provisions, which I will tell you this, I suspect that there are going to be more provision marches going out for the side of 16OT. And there you go. Just like that, the capture comes in a little bit early, but I'm not mad about it. A little bit early, but they are currently up by 4.6K points in favor of JST. As we come into the last stretch, let's look at the teletype as of right now, what it is. Occupation. Honestly, I'm surprised. This could have been way worse. 16OT did pivot a little bit, and it kind of course corrected on this front. Arcs, you can see we're split up. Provisions haven't come in. So it'll be interesting. We're already seeing healed troops. Man, already. All right, let's see what the swarm's looking like. And just like that. Oh, get in. Where are the reinforcements? Once again, I think this QSH might get the last hit. Oh, they got, okay. Dude, that QSH is, oh my God. Oh my God, why is he so strong? QSH up here, dude. He might, if they don't reinforce it, maybe. I don't know. Okay, no, they should hold. They should hold. This would be a fail. Okay. Oh, it's Baba. All right, here we go. Once again, Desert Altar flips in favor of JST. It sounds like a reoccurring record, right? Like a broken record, just altar flipping in favor of JST. All right, 6 minutes. 6 minutes till the final arc of the match. All right, so here's the crucial part. You ready for it? Here's the crucial part. I didn't even think I was gonna say this, but with the pivot from 16 OT, it comes down to the last arc. That last arc is gonna be worth 4,000 score, which would pull 16 OT immediately back in. That also, don't forget, we still got provisions that gotta come in. This could still be a game, but first things first, 16 OT has to win this next arc. They have to win. No ifs, ands, or buts. They have to win this next arc. They still got a good shot. Still got a good shot. All right, JST flipping some structures, hopefully, or at least that's the hope. All right, let's see how it's going, boys and girls. Dude, okay, now their garrison seems to be doing a whole lot better this time. Very nice. Good hold on that front. We are starting to rotate. 4 minutes early. 4 minutes. We've progressively gotten earlier and earlier each arc. Desert Altar getting swarmed. Let's see if it's gonna hold up. Chandra, we're going cav, baby. Cav. All right, JST, hold door. There you go. Desert Altar getting pulled back a little bit. A little worrisome. They're a little worried. There you go. How are they playing this? They might be playing this pretty well, to be honest with you. They're ignoring. That's a big dub right there. Save, trying to, you know, he ain't saving. He's trying to kill off his troops, it looks like. Oh man, that guy's getting obliterated. Ooh. Save being spoiler. Save's picking him off, man. Love you, baby. All right. All right, chat. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. 30 seconds.
No lo que vale, solo disfruta, seamos normales. Yo soy la cura pa' todos esos males y soy un pro para esos desembales. Desembales, para esos desembales. Desembales, y soy un pro para esos desembales. Ella quiere farra.
All right. Sorry about that, chat. Here we go. 30 seconds as we are loading in. Sorry, I had to go run to the wife. Oh my God. Oh my. 16 OT is pushing. What skills were popped to the death for both sides? Time warp was used by both sides. It's all coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, it comes down to this. Let's fucking go. Comes down to this. 16 OT have to win this. They've pulled it to less than 2,000. This arc is worth 4,000 score. The arc has appeared. It is all muddied up. This is what we were talking about in the previous match. You need to have this absolute just mucked. JST seems like they have just pulled it. They pulled it from the side. Oh no. You always want to pull it from the backside. When you pull it from the side of the structure, it adds on an extra like 10 to 12 seconds to get back where you would if you grabbed it from the backside and pulled it. JST is running away with it. Where are we going? And JST are sneaking it out. Oh man. Oh man, JST pulling the spoiler. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Oh no. Spoiler alert. Oh no. Hey QQ, we're back. How was your cake, my friend? Was it delicious and nutritious? You got here for the last 6 minutes, my friend. And JST looks like they might be playing spoiler. We do still have. Oh no, actually, I think they pulled all their provisioners. Energetic from JST, energetic from 16OT. They did. That's how they brought the lead back. Oh no. That was their play, their win play right there. I don't think they have any more provisions on the side of 16OT. Not enough to make up 6K lead. Now you're going into full turtle mode. With JST says, turtle what? And they get massively aggressive. All right, we have 5 minutos left, boys and girls. And it all comes down, they insta-capture that arc because there is not enough time. We now have a 7K lead going in with less than 5 minutes on the clock. 16OT is gonna have to pull something out of the bag in order to do this. Usually I would say provisions and some occupation, but it takes 2 minutes to capture a building, right? We are now at the point where if you're JST, as long as you just neutralize buildings, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. All you need to do is neutralize buildings, right? Even if they take your structure, just make sure they don't capture points on it, right? They are gonna need to 3x, 4x your score in occupation for the next 4 minutes to even have a shot. And even then, I don't even think that would cut half of it. So that's a tough pill to swallow right there. It's a tough one. It all came down to that last arc, and JST getting that first pull was just so dirty. It was just so dirty. They mirrored each other on the skills. And it was a great plan from JST. It was a great plan. A lot of infield fighting. Yeah, I think they kind of GD'd it up. All right, JST pushing forward on the map, looking really good. Sneaky tactics. Where are we going, boys? Where are we going? See, usually this is where I would have said JST probably would have balled here and used it. But where did they use it, though? Huh. Circling the horses. I feel like they're gonna march down. Oh, here it is. Aha. Did anybody get in there or somebody just poked it? They might have just poked it. Nah, because there would be marches here if they were pulling this. I just got brutally tickled by my mate. I also said JST was gonna win. You did. You did. You definitely called it. All right. I didn't see anything happen, so I assume it's just a random pop. That's 30 seconds. I don't know. I guess we're just, well, it's 2 minutes left. I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Let's just watch some fights real quick. See what we're looking at. JST swarming everything down. Jeez. Coming out. 1:30 left on the clock. And then JST is getting their first win in groups. JST clearing him out. 40 seconds left. There is no coming back. There is no coming back. That last arc was the play. That last arc was the play. And now it's starting to look more like the beginning of the match. Yeah. Where the occupation game was just off. Desert Storm from JST. Are they going to use it on one of the structures? Oh, they used it down here. GG's to both teams. JST were able to take this. Hades is your most valuable player. Let's look at that tail of the tape.